Manifesting is an amazing experience. It's all about changing what's up here to change what's out there in the world. You can change any area of your life with manifesting, whether you want more wealth, more abundance, better health, better relationships. Whatever it is, you can change with manifesting. And when most people think of manifesting, they think, okay, that's a little bit airy-fairy, that's a little pie in the sky for me. But actually, manifesting is really based on a science. It's the science of psychology. When you change how you look at the world, how you interpret and interact with the world, your experience with the world changes.
When you're looking to manifest anything in your life, it first starts with the intention. You really have to know what you want, but knowing what you want isn't enough, because the next thing you have to do is actually speak it out loud. And this is where a lot of people go wrong, because they sit there and they keep it inside themselves, they keep it close to the vest, maybe share with a few friends, but what happens is that gives them room to not actually believe in themselves.
There's something within you that's got to come up, like a desire, a goal, an intention, something that you want to create into your life.
Part of that intention isn't just that you want something, it's this deep in your heart and that you're going to go for it. So I always say, you know, be loud about it.
You get that spark of inspiration or desire that you're feeling, that's where it begins. You can feel that tickle or that tingle. Oh, I want that. Or this knowing that all of a sudden drops in. And then from there is where the whole path opens up.
Manifesting is bringing something into your life, whether it's physical, an experience, a situation that you want to experience, achieve, or have.
Sometimes this will manifest as something you want to create, something you're inspired by or excited by, something you want to achieve, something that keeps gnawing at you. Other times it's wanting to get away from a situation, like being deathly unhappy with a certain situation or problem in your life and realizing at a deep level that they're saying compromising your soul and you don't want to create that anymore, and that will in turn lead you into an opening. That is where the process of manifesting begins for me.
If you want to have a six-pack abs and the best shape of your life, you can manifest that, but it does take work. If you want to be a billionaire, you can manifest that, but it does take work. If you want to have the love of your life step in your life tomorrow, you can manifest that, but you need to be prepared.
I genuinely believe that we're all here for a reason. I believe that we incarnated at this particular time for a reason. Now, it's a slightly trippy spiritual belief that I've held, but imagine if it was true. Imagine if you were here for a reason now. What is it within you that's trying to get out? Like, what are your goals and dreams? What is that little gnawing whispering that's going on in your mind and your heart that's saying, I want to be doing more of this? That's where you should start manifesting. I mean, yeah, if you're in debt and you want to learn how to manifest money, for sure. But in short, what you'll discover, the more you play with these principles, there is no limit to what you can be, do, or have.
More or less, you can manifest anything, but you have to prepare yourself first. Otherwise, the universe is not going to provide it.
The process of manifesting is just a slightly nice, fancy way of saying it's the process of creation. So if you want to reach a certain job goal or money goal or a relationship goal or to travel the world or to have a certain charitable impact in the world or to leave a legacy behind or just to be a great parent and raise kids the right way or a great lover or anything in between.
Health, wealth, happiness, success, your friends, travel, experiences, anything.
The process of manifesting is precisely designed to help you create those things into your life with the minimal amount of stress and struggle and frustration.
Focus is so important when it comes to manifesting. This is the first step in the whole process. You have to get really clear on exactly what it is you want.
We tend to focus on what we don't want. If you ask somebody what they want out of a relationship, well, I don't want this and I don't want that. We need to be focusing on what we do want.
To focus on what you want, of course, you need to decide what you want. You need to be very definitive.
The easiest things to do to find out what it is that you do want is to look at your life. Where have you gotten really clear about something and it showed up instantly? And what did that feel like? You know, how clear did that feel in your heart? Did you also feel like nothing's going to stop me.
We are bombarded by our society of things to focus on that do not serve us. The wars, the poverty, the stress, the struggle. We are told to focus on these things, and of course when we do that, we tend to manifest the experiences we don't want. It takes a lot of courage and faith to focus on that which we desire.
If we don't know what it is we want, we're not going to know how to get there. We can't draw a map, we can't get the support we need, we can't find the mentors and programs. So the first thing we have to do is really get clear, on what we want to focus on, but that can be hard because we don't always know.
Tune in with what it is that you want, or tune in with who you are, what your destiny is. You're about to cross the street and you suddenly miss getting hit by a car. You're like, wow, that was close. In that moment, what I believe happens is we're suddenly tuned into that present where everything else disappeared, even if it's for half a second. And that to me is similar to what happens in manifesting, that we are tuned in to that frequency of what it is that we want or where we're headed. And now our lens is focused on that. And now we can also see opportunity where we wouldn't have seen it before. We can also allow in opportunities or what's there for us to follow.
I think a lot of people get manifesting backwards in this way. They think, well, once you know what you want, then you get rid of the limiting beliefs. For me, it's about becoming the best version of myself, which means get rid of the limiting beliefs first. When I see something that's holding me back, clear that away. And then once that's cleared away, I'm going to get really clear on what it is I do want. And that allows me to focus my attention and energy in the direction that I want to go.
With that first step, that focus, the rest will start to flow in. But you must get that focus right and stop focusing on the things that you don't want to attract.
Boost. This is where you really get yourself fired up. You get into the mood for the goals that you want to achieve. You turn on your ignition, you feel that belly fire, and you feel what's coming your way.
The process of connecting with it emotionally and allowing yourself to fully receive it in the moment becomes an activation for the universe. It sort of lights it up, almost like it was a grid.
You can boost your emotions by imagining yourself successful. So imagine there's a time in the past where you felt on top of your game, where everything was flowing, you felt cool, sexy, in charge, you had that swagger going. Relive it in your mind, shut your eyes, go there for a couple of minutes. No one does this. When you do, you realize you create the exact same physiological response. It's going on in your body.
Feel the excitement, the passion, the heightened emotions, the excitement of achieving your dreams.
If you're trying to manifest a goal that you are not excited about, it ain't the goal for you.
When we give voice to our desires, we give that the movement and energy it needs to actually happen in the world.
Do you know when you have such passion, such fire, like your why is ignited, it's like nothing can stop you.
This isn't fake it until you make it. This is literally, you are programming your mind to put yourself in a peak state, a state of flow, of optimal performance. That's how I boost.
Releasing is the third part of the manifesting process. This is where, you've got that goal in your mind, you've focused on it, you've boosted it, and you're now thinking, right, I want to get there, but it might be tough. I've got obstacles in my way. Maybe I don't think I'm worth it. Maybe I don't think I have the intelligence or the resources or whatever it may be. You have all these blocks and obstacles in your way. By releasing, you're able to let go of those things that are holding you back.
So when you've set your focus, you've set your boost, you know what you're working towards, release the expectation of an exact outcome. Any outcome from what you are at now is an achievement, is a success, and it may not be the final outcome, but there's steps towards that final outcome. So if you can release the expectation and the absolute need of having that exact outcome, but anything towards that, and recognizing that for yourself and giving yourself a pat on the back and appreciating that in yourself and respecting yourself and the universe for providing that, then you're on your way.
It's critical to be clear on your goals. It's critical to know what you want to achieve. It's equally critical to have the heightened emotions and the excitement about it. However, along with those two, you have to release your attachment to this outcome. When you release your attachment to the outcome while still imagining the outcome and enjoying it and being excited about it, you allow the space for something even better to show up for you.
Releasing is key in the manifesting process. Resistance is what creates struggle. Resistance is what holds us back from then whatever that is that we want to create. But if you want to experience this vision that you have for yourself, you have to release it. So you can see all around you the opportunities and possibilities and next steps, but also so you can have that experience now as you're moving forward to what you want.
But we have to let go of our attachments to the world as it is today, to our attachments of how we think that has to materialize, because that will truly limit what can come into your life.
Releasing is so important, and this is probably the biggest problem people come up against.
That release process is the next step, and we often struggle against it. But truly, it makes room for the universe to manifest something that you might not even be able to imagine today.
Well, it's really important to let go of your attachments. And it's really the same thing as saying, fuck it, right? Everything gets out of the way. Every attachment, every need, every want, every bit of separation, and you actually begin being what you're manifesting.
The more you start to say, you know what, maybe I ain't got that money I want yet, maybe this ain't the dream job, maybe my boss is an arsehole now, but can I just be cool? Can I let go of the need for anything to be different now? You'll find that when you create that spaciousness and that gratitude and that love for what you already have, more starts to show up. So I see it as a wink from the universe that as soon as you say, you know what, I do want this, but I honestly don't need it. I'm a love life. I'm a really celebrate it. That's when it starts to show up.
Gratitude is the fourth step of the 5-step manifesting process. And you know, by this point, you've already gone ahead, you've focused on your goals, you've boosted your goals, and you've gone ahead and released on your attachment to the outcome. But now's the time to really appreciate your life. You know, you're in the top 1% percentile of people in the whole world. You're watching this on a computer. You've probably got a roof over your head and you're eating several meals a day. This is the time to be grateful, to really appreciate your life just as it is right now.
Gratitude is almost like the secret sauce. It's a secret sauce that really allows you to attract everything that you would like to actually have in your life.
Be grateful. Be grateful not only that you're alive today. You have air in your lungs. You have the sun over your head. You have clothes on your back, food in your belly, and you're probably on a laptop, so your life's pretty good, right?
Gratitude is absolutely an essential part of the manifesting process. As a matter of fact, I think it's the catalyst. Without it, you're just putting out a bunch of calls, but it never is going to come back to you fully.
It is imperative if you want to be happy and connected and have a big positive impact in the world and really enjoy life, to feel grateful. When you're grateful, you don't need to be successful anyway. Even if the things that you want haven't shown up yet, the fact that you feel grateful means that you are in the exact same vibrational state as the happiest multi-millionaire or billionaire on the planet.
Your goal, whether it's weight loss, whether it's finances, whatever it may be grateful for every single day that you wake up. Be grateful for every single day that you can focus on the goal. Be grateful that you can work towards that goal.
Gratitude is the engine behind it all. So when we have our focus, which is one of the steps of manifesting, when we have our focus on what is working and allow that in and feel that feeling of gratitude, what that is creating, it's building that muscle of allowing in even more, appreciating it, magnetizing it to you, but it's also creating this beautiful experience of your life.
As you make those little milestones, make sure to take 5 minutes out of your day, sit down, whether it's meditate, whether it's stare at a wall, whether it's stare at the sky, whether it's talk to your loved one, but express to them or express to the universe how grateful you are that you're alive and you're able to work towards these goals.
Ultimately, what we want is to be okay in the world, to feel good, to feel alive. We look at the money and the objects as ways of feeling that, but ultimately, we just want to live a good life. When we focus on what we're grateful for, when we really look at how we can appreciate what we have in the world, that allows us to focus our energy towards us, the best qualities in ourselves, the best qualities in the world, and that's what we're going to create in our lives.
When you are grateful, that energy invites things into your life faster, with more flow, with less effort, and it feels good.
Gratefulness is so essential to manifestation, to laws of attraction, to happy living, to everything out there.
Go. Now this is the final step of the manifesting process. This is where you take inspired action, where you decide to move things forward, take that first step on the journey. Without this step, nothing else matters. You can do steps 1 to 4, nothing will really change until you apply step 5 and go.
It's wonderful to feel good, to meditate, to focus on what you want. At the end of the day, though, the universe is not going to deliver it to you unless you take action.
This, I think, is where most people unfortunately fail in manifesting, in laws of attraction, is that actual go step. And that's still because I think a lot of people suffer from fear of success, from fear of achieving their dream. And whatever reason that may be, without taking that first step, without pushing the go button, without believing in yourself and stepping out over that ledge, you are not going anywhere.
What happens often is we'll feel an impulse and we want to move forward, but then we start maybe a little fear or anxiety or doubting, or let me overanalyze this, or let me just get a little bit more ready, or let me wait, well, maybe later I'll do it. Well, that's what's going to stop you. You have to be willing to say, I've got this inspired action, I want to take this step, and be willing to go ahead and move forward with the fear, with the doubt, but trusting that process from that boosted, inspired place and moving forward.
If you don't move it out in the world, if you don't speak it out in the world, if you don't create the vision board, if you don't put one foot in front of the other and actually make things happen, the universe goes, I don't know if you really want it. Like, whatever, you seem kind of not that interested. So you know what? I know someone who really does want this, and I will take care of them.
Those processes are important to arrange the energy, but the go is how the universe actually knows that it's a yes and that you're actually choosing it. You can do the energetics of the last 4 steps, but if you don't actually hit go, it's really not going to happen.
Taking action is critical, absolutely critical. And so many people, they read about all of this and they study it, but they're afraid to take action. It would be like typing in everything you want in the search bar but never hitting enter. Right? You're not going to get the results you want. So take action.
So if you really want something, if you believe in it and you believe it is destined to come in your life, then you're not going to sit around waiting for it.
One of the fundamental misconceptions with the law of attraction or manifesting community is the idea that all you've got to do is focus on what you want and magically it's going to show up. You've got to move. When you get that impulse, when it strikes you, do it as quickly as possible. Don't let your ego talk you out of it, or your fears or your past conditioning. Get moving.
Go. Go out into your world. Go out and start taking inspired action. This is what's going to get you closer to your dreams.
Not taking action is the biggest obstacle people face. They say, no, the law of attraction doesn't work. You've got to take some action. Come on.
Every step you take, the universe is going to take 10 steps towards you. It doesn't take a lot to put the universe in motion. But if you don't start that momentum, it's never going to happen.
There's a whole science behind manifesting and how it actually really works. And when you can understand the science, everything becomes easy and simple, and the whole process works for everybody. It's a science of psychology. By changing the way you think, by changing the way you interpret the world, your experience with the world changes.
Earl Nightingale, in his Strangest Secret, boiled it down to the strangest secret is you become what you think about most. Mystics for thousands of years have said that ask and you shall receive. Whatever you focus on, you're going to experience in your life. And modern day quantum physics seems to point to the idea that our attention and our intention has an actual malleable effect on reality. I mean, I could give you a million scientific explanations or philosophies or what mystics have said in the past, but none of them are going to convince you more than if you sit down and write down some intentions and focus on them and start to be shocked and awed when they start to flow into your life via synchronicity through a flow which requires far less struggle and hard work than what we're programmed into believing we have to in order to create the results that we want.
You can change any area of your life with manifesting. It's really a kind of catch-all, whether you want more money, you want better relationships, you want to improve your health, you want to increase the abundance, the happiness, the joy in your life, manifesting can help. Again, you're changing what's up here. to change what's out there. Some people really struggle with the law of attraction. They just don't get the results they want. They download from the internet somewhere this 30-step guide to abundance, and it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because it's bullshit. There's so much information in there. They're trying to take you on one path, take you on another path. No, return to the basics, return to the science, the replicable science of manifesting.
So if you haven't got great results from the law of attraction in the past, it's most probably because you're trying too hard, overcomplicating it.
5 steps, it's quite easy. Walk through them, they're easy. Don't over-analyze, don't over-structure, don't overdo it. It's so simple, but really it all starts within, believing in yourself and keeping it simple.
If you have not yet gotten the results that you want with the law of attraction, then I would say you have not been consistently using the steps that have been proven to work.
If you're manifesting, if you're trying and it just isn't happening for you, then you're fucked and give up. So, you know, if you've been trying to manifest and it hasn't been working for you, I will bet that you're not following just some very basic steps. You know, it's most likely you didn't find the support that you needed, the mentors, the coaching, or if you did, you didn't actually do what they said. Because those people have been down the path that we are trying to walk. And if we think, oh, we know better than the people who have already done this, then we're getting in the way of our manifesting. So when it comes to manifesting, we really have to get real about it. It is a goal, whether it's the goal to feel joy, happiness, gratitude, whether it's a goal to manifest a car or a relationship, it doesn't matter what you want to manifest. At the end of the day, if you're not seeing the results that you want, you probably haven't followed a proven process.
There's so much raw potential waiting to manifest for all of us. But the song that we're singing is oftentimes couched in negatives. What can't happen? What's wrong? Life is a struggle.
For those who maybe feel like, it doesn't work, I've tried law of attraction or I'm taking it on and it's just not working for me. What I would suggest is having a change of perspective, because it's all about what filter you're looking at, what's showing up for you. It's a sign that you've got resistance going on, and you're probably perpetuating the resistance then by saying, oh, it's not working, I don't know, I'm gonna give up. Or change your filter. How you are seeing what's there for you is what's gonna start guiding you forward. People say, but I tried, I looked at it this way, I really worked. Because you're working at it, then perhaps that might be what's causing some of the issue. Another thing is, let's say you come up against challenges and you think, well, that shouldn't have happened. That challenge shouldn't have happened if I was in this place that I was putting myself in. Well, actually, maybe that challenge was there to strengthen you, to make you better, to have something you learn from. So maybe that is part of the process. So when you change your perspective and how you're looking at it, you're welcoming what shows up and how is it part of what's moving you towards what you want, even if it looks like an obstacle or a roadblock or a challenge as you come across it. Are you going to allow it to make you bitter? Or are you going to allow it to make you better? And like we know in success, and it's proven that persistence is what's going to have you be successful.
A lot of people I've met who said, well, I've tried the law of attraction and it doesn't work, it's nonsense. And then you listen to them speak, and maybe 5 minutes a day they're doing the abundance thing and they're focusing on what they want to create. And the rest of the time they bitching and moaning and complaining, and you become what you put out. Think of the last time you met someone who inspired you with their good vibes and their optimism and their happiness and their sharing and their giving. That's the kind of person that you can become by following these 5 principles in the manifesting process. And if it hasn't worked for you yet, don't give up, for real, don't give up. John Assaraf is a good friend of mine now. Luckily, he was a mentor for many years and I studied all of his stuff. And he said to me, the greatest transformations come at the moment when we feel overwhelmed, when we're about to give up. Don't be judgmental on yourself. And if you look at it and go, oh shit, I've been focusing on the wrong things, don't beat yourself up. It's a game, treat it as play, as Alan Watts says. Just go with it and go, notice it. Awareness is the first step of transformation. When you're aware of it, and you go, oh wow, I've been complaining about this, or I've been worried about money more than I thought. I'm gonna see if I can let that go a little bit. And with manifesting, just the slightest little change can create tremendously disproportionate results.
Now it's interesting to look at, manifesting, and some people, it seems like no matter what they could try a million things and they're still not manifesting the life that they want to live. And I think one of the most important things is get out of your head. The stuff that we do in our head actually doesn't exist. It's not real. It's kind of a fabrication and a projection of what we think we want. But we actually, it's sort of like if you stayed in your house all day and just thought, I'd like to have $1 million, then nothing's going to happen. It's as easy as, wow, I feel like ice cream. I'm actually going to go get some ice cream. So if you're feeling like you keep getting tripped up on, I'm trying to do it this way and I'm trying to do it this way and this isn't working and there's something wrong with me and maybe I don't work, get out of your house. Go experience life. Go find what you're passionate about. Go horseback riding and running and hiking and get into your life, get into your heart to actually find what the energy is of why you're moving forward and why you're taking these steps to manifest this life. Because if it's all in your mind, you're really not going to get anywhere. I mean, my whole theory is whatever I think about, I completely fuck up. So I don't think about anything, like any videos, any courses, I don't plan anything at all. Because I know that the more my mind gets involved, the harder it's going to be for me to actually manifest it. Now that'll fuck all the minds up, right? They're like, but this course on focusing your mind. I'm like, no, just go for it.
So if your goal is you want to have this perfect relationship, this divine relationship, but your belief is they're all arseholes or they're all going to cheat or whatever it may be, and it could be based on things that have happened in the past. But if that is your unconscious belief, then you are not going to manifest what you want until you have released that.
I think one of the things that people have to realize is that they already are instant manifestors. All of us are manifesting everything in our life, absolutely everything. So if we feel like we're not good enough, we're going to find a relationship where that person also thinks we're not good enough. And we truly manifest every step of our life in every moment. So one of the first things to recognize is that everyone is already a master manifester.
The most beautiful thing is that belief is self-determined to a very high degree, which means, again, with time and energy and practice and repetition, you can convince yourself to believe in almost anything. If you want to be rich, you have to believe it. And one of the best ways to do that is to imagine yourself rich over and over and over again with images and emotion and sensory-rich imagery until you get to the point one day where your subconscious mind goes, okay, I know what that looks like. And then it becomes easy.
To me, manifestation process is really following the feeling with a curiosity, so you can allow in what shows up that you could never imagine or manufacture yourself.
I think one of the biggest things is realizing you can actually have everything. And some people eliminate certain things from their life because they feel like they only deserve for one area to work out. But what if that was just upping your level of receiving to what the universe can actually provide, which is abundant? What if you began looking at those places in you and began eliminating the no's? Because once you eliminate the no's and open up to the gratitude of the yes, it has no choice but to come into your world.
One of the things I can tell you immediately that we should all start doing is moving from a want to gratitude. Knowing what we want is a great first step. You're in that state of desire. But we have to shift to gratitude as if it already exists for us to actually be in phase coherence or in sync with that materializing in our lives. If we stay in want, we're going to keep wanting. We're going to be left wanting. That's all we're going to be creating.
The process includes failure, repeated failure, and continuously trying over and over again until you succeed and begin to manifest what you actually desire.
One of the fundamental things you have to do is develop a belief in yourself that you are deserving of what you want to manifest and that you can have it. There are a few ways you can do this. Like there are many methodologies from NLP and visualization, EFT and so on that you can use to help you, and you can find your own one. There's no one size fits all, which is a beautiful one because you get to figure out your own way of getting there to the point. But fundamentally, if you have a desire for something and you have this big goal, but inside you feel you don't deserve it, or you don't really believe it's going to happen, then it ain't going to happen.
So many people, they just figure, just have the intention and then go take action, right? Well, the first action should be getting support and actually finding the people who know how to do it. Find mentors, find coaches, find support with people who have done what you've done before. So many people try and manifest on their own and they wonder, oh, why didn't it work? Why didn't I get the results I wanted? It's because they didn't go get a program that actually teaches them step by step how to do it.
I went to a Harv Eker seminar years ago, and he said, go on a week-long complaint fast. So for a week, you're not allowed to complain or bitch or moan or anything. I'm like, I've got this. Within 2 hours, I find myself automatically complaining. I had to start again. It took me about a year to get through a week of not complaining out loud. You have to look at yourself and go, am I really being the person I'm professing to be? Am I doing my 10 minutes of visualization or whatever, and the rest of the time bemoaning my fate or my story? We've all had very challenging experiences in our past that we can choose to focus on, and we can choose to let them dictate the rest of our lives.
When I was leaving the corporate world to be of service, what I did was I let my employer know a year in advance. And that was not so much for them, it was to give me some runway, some preparation, and to give my mind that focus that says, I'm going to do this.
I remember I loved listening to this personal growth radio station. I heard this one show and the guy was kind of okay on it. And all of a sudden I heard this voice that said, oh, I can do better than that. And in fact, I think I'm going to. And I went, who said that? But I was like, okay. So I just went around following that. So I had this kind of knowing or inspiration drop in. I thought, isn't that interesting? I was curious about it. And so I kept just following that feeling. Eventually, I just went into the radio station cold, created my own, they took a risk with me, 13 weeks initially, then I got a whole year. Then they asked me to join the syndicate. And I got to work with the greats that I loved, and it launched my whole career in this world that I've loved all my life. And what happened is, that inspiration showed up. I didn't get tense about it or I've got to make this happen. I just kind of followed it and thought it could be this way. And then next thing you know, it developed into this other world than I couldn't have imagined.
Around 6 years ago, I wanted to get a record deal, and I was really set on it. I was like, oh my God, if I just got this record deal my whole life, it'd just come true and all my dreams. And I checked inside of myself and I went, well, what are the no's that I have in my universe? I figured out that I thought I wasn't good enough to sign a deal. I did some processing, some manifestation, some clearing processing, and guess how long it took for somebody to offer me a deal? 24 hours. It's amazing how much we are actually in our own way. And we are the only ones that say no to the most abundant, most miraculous things coming into our life.
Here's the thing, manifesting isn't complicated. As John Conway said, cats are complicated.